Well, hello everybody. It's been a minute since I've put any new material up. And by new, I don't mean like in addition to what's already there, uh, but I mean new as in pertaining to what's happening right here, right now. Most of the new videos that I've been putting up are actually archival footage. Okay, and there's a reason for that. I think I've talked about it once or twice before. Um, Namely, that we've taken some time off to do some writing. The next record, which is titled "The Day in Christ," uh, I'm sorry, "The Dead in Christ." I'm getting it mixed up with our last album, "Day of the Lord." The new album, our third, which will come out, early 2024, is going to be titled "The Dead in Christ." Okay, so, sorry, I'm drinking a soda and it's causing me to burp. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so that's why there hasn't been any new material as far as band material. We're taking this time off. We really want to spend a lot of time on this next record. We want to write the very best songs that we can, and we're just working really hard at doing just that, writing as many songs as we can, and then dissecting them and making sure that they're up to par. And if they're not, they either get rewritten or they get discarded. Um, the first record, and I've said this before, the first record was really, it was, 8 of the songs on there were songs that I had brought to the band that, varied in age from a couple of months old to 15 or 20 years old. Okay. And then once Marty and JT joined the band, and we realized that we had 2 additional songwriters, we wanted to include a song from each one of them on the album as well. So that's what we did. The second album, so my point to that is it came together really quickly. The songs were already written, they've been written for quite some time. The second album, um, speaking only of my songs, about half of them were still songs that were from years ago. And then there were a few that I'd written brand new for the record. Holy was a brand new track. We Are the Night. That was a brand new track that Grant and I wrote together. Um, but some of my other songs that on that album, like "I'm Your Way" or "Crown of Thorns," those were songs that had been around for a few years. Well, "Crown of Thorns" had been around for a few years. "I'm Your Way" was written way back in like the late 80s, early 90s. Wow. Anyway, so that record came together pretty quickly as well because a lot of those songs were already written as far as mine go, and then I brought maybe half of them were new. The songs that JT and Marty brought, I think JT had said that a lot of those songs that he brought were songs that he had written years before as well. Marty's songs, I think, were mostly new. I know "Jericho Must Fall" was a newer track that Marty had brought in at the time. So a little more time went into that record than the first one because we didn't have as many songs in the pipeline. Um, we had to write some new songs, but there were still some that were, from years ago. Now with this third album, I've depleted my archives. I've depleted, the songs that I've written years ago, except for 2 songs. I have 2 songs, one of which one of which we played a couple of times, maybe on live streams, and I know we rehearsed it a couple of times. Um, and then there's one that I just came across that is actually the very first song I ever wrote. And I came across it the other day when I was going through some uh, archival stuff that the band has never even heard, even. So I have those 2 songs that did not end up on the first or the second record. So I have those 2 songs left, but we're not putting those on this new album because stylistically they don't fit in well with the direction we're going on this third album. So, a couple of things there. Well, what's going to happen with those 2 tracks, you may be asking? Well, as you know, our first album, Vengeance Is Mine, is of course available on all the digital platforms, but it's also available on CD. But we also had it pressed to vinyl. With our second album, Day of the Lord, it's of course on all the digital platforms. We had it printed up on CDs, but we never got it pressed to vinyl. Well, we're hoping to change that, and we're going to make it a double album. The first record had 10 tracks. The second album, Day of the Lord, has 14. So, it's too much for one album and not quite enough for 2 albums. So what we're going to do is take those 2 tracks that I just mentioned, and we're going to add those to the track listing of Day of the Lord, bringing it up to 16 tracks. Now you've got 2 albums worth, 4 songs on each side of each record. So now you've got, hold on, I gotta get comfortable here. Now you've got 16 tracks, which will easily warrant a double album. So that's what we want to do, a nice double album with a gatefold cover. It's going to be really cool. So that's what's going to happen with those 2 tracks. Now, what's going on with album number 3, The Dead in Christ? Well, we're going to go a little bit heavier, a little bit darker. Not to say that there won't be some uplifting. Of course there will be. Lyrically, our songs are uplifting anyway. But we just wanted to be a little bit heavier, and we're going to go for a slightly different sound. That's all I can say at this point. By the way, I'm not sure if I've ever said this on this channel or not, but yeah, I'm sitting in our, if you're wondering, you can probably hear the rain. That's because I'm sitting in our RV right now. I like to come out here and film videos for whatever reason. Anyway, also because we're full-time RVers now. So that's nice. Anyway, so I'm sitting here and I'm recording this video in the rain, talking about The Dead in Christ, the next album, the next record. So I said all that to say this. We're hoping to have that album recorded, mixed, mastered, and released by spring of next year. Like I said, we're writing a ton of tracks, a ton of new songs, and we're going to pick the very best of those. Now, here's the other thing. We're looking still for a lead guitarist and a bass player. If they write songs, then obviously they'll bring some tracks too, and then you've got even more to pull from. And the more songwriters you have, the better, I think. It just makes it a much fuller and well-rounded album. So, here's the point I've been trying to get to, without running any more rabbit trails, hopefully. Excuse me, we're looking to start recording probably in February, March at the latest. So we're doing kind of a little bit of a countdown, because we're pretty excited about this. We're really excited about this. So for the next 5 months, between now, well, starting in September through January, a new video will premiere each month. Okay, on the 18th of each month. So September 18th, there's a video clip from one of our live shows at Aiden's Place. I think it's from February 11th, 2021. And it's a clip of The Ice Lord. Okay? October 18th, same place, same show. A clip of Tears on the Wall. November 18th, same show, same everything. A clip of Omega Man. December 18th, same show and all that good stuff. Yeah. A clip of Holy. All right. I figured Holy would be perfect for December since, Christmas, right? So that's going to take care of those 4 months. Rolling into 2024, there's going to be a video released on January 18th. And it's about an hour long, okay? And it's going to premiere on January 18th. And it's basically like a slideshow. So it's not anything like new video or new show footage or anything like that. It's just a slideshow of, it's basically the slideshow that we use in our live shows. In our live show, we have these big screens, okay, and this video footage plays. It's pictures of the band and some graphics and some really cool stuff. And underneath of it, I put our show intro, which is like this really cool choral voices background with this really cool monologue of Kent Hovind speaking. And then I put this clip of, we just called it Disco Tune. And it's basically, I think when we were recording a second album, we were just standing around in the studio, and Pete Bass, our producer, just happened to have the tape still rolling, and we just launched into this jam, and it sounds just like a disco funk type thing. So I pulled that and put that in the video as well, and then there's like 2 or 3 of our album tracks on there. Now, I said all that to say this. Excuse me, at the very end of that video, for the very first time, you will get to see the brand new artwork for the third album, The Dead in Christ. It is awesome. I love this album cover, this artwork that we came across. The first 2 albums had awesome album artwork as well. I think we've maintained a really good record of having really cool album covers, and Day of the Lord tops the other 2. That's how good it is. So if you watch that video all the way through, at the very end, you're going to see for the first time the album cover artwork for The Dead in Christ. I figured January is a good time to release that because, like I said, by February, March of 2024, we want to go into the studio, get the album recorded, and hopefully have it released at the latest by April. That way there, around that same time, we're going to be doing our rehearsals. We're going to be doing a lot of interviews. And we're also going to be auditioning lead guitarists and bass players. And then we're going to move into starting to book the next tour behind this album. It may take a little bit for that whole process to start up. Because, again, there's only 2 of us in the band at this point. So hopefully we can be out there playing shows by mid-summer, late summer at the latest, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. We're in no hurry. We want to take our time with this. But if we could have the album out by April or May, maybe May at the latest, that would be great. Because, like I said, we want to spend not only more time as far as the songwriting process and auditioning members, but we also want to take our time with putting this stage show together, which is another thing that's going to hold everything up. The stage show has grown. It's going to grow significantly. It's going to be really big, really huge. It's going to be nice. So that's going to take some time. But also, we just want to make sure that we take our time in the studio. We're not going to rush this thing out. We're going to take as much time as we need to make sure that all the sounds are there, that it's a perfect production. We want the very, very best this time. Okay, not to say that the first 2 weren't good. I'm just saying we're always looking to top what we've done before. That's what we're hoping to do with this next record. And then when we put the show together, that's going to take a while. We've got a lot of moving parts, but it will be worth it. A whole new stage show, all new costumes. Well, I don't say costumes, outfits. Okay. The stage presence is every bit as important as the music. Absolutely. When you go to a concert, you're bringing your ears, but you're also bringing your eyes. All right. So you're coming to hear some great music, but you know what? I think bang for the buck, you should also get something for your eyes. Your eyes should also be entertained. Okay. So that's what we've always aimed to do, and I think we do pretty well, especially for a band at our level. But we're going to take it to the next level now. So all of that is what we've got on the plate. That's what we've got in mind. That's what we're hoping to do. We will be reaching out to some interviewers soon, and probably January, February, once we're ready to. I gotta get comfortable again. Sorry. Once we're. What was I talking about? Gosh, I'm so easily distracted. Oh, interviewers. Yeah. Once we get January, February, hopefully, if it's just Grant and I doing the interviews for a while, that's fine. I would like for it to be a full band thing, especially once we get new members. It'd be nice to introduce them. But if in the meantime, if we don't have the guitarist or the bass player or whatever yet, that's okay. Grant and I will do the interviews. We've always been very proactive in that. So we'll reach out to people like Matthew from Super Cool Radio and Aaron Kroll from Studio Talk and probably Jill Eleanor and some other people as well. Probably reach out to Z93, especially once we get the album recorded. Even before the album is released, we'll probably debut whatever the first single is on Z93. They've been really good to us. They've played, man, I don't even know how many, probably 10, and I'm guessing, might not be exactly 10, but I think they've played our songs on their Michigan Made program at least 10 times, maybe just under, maybe 7, right? Just be safe. The point being is they've been really good to us. And then there's also a couple of radio stations out of Grand Rapids, and I can't think of their names right now. Anyway, we usually also submit our albums to reviewers, people who review albums. Local Spins, that's the other one, okay? They've played our tracks a few times, and they've also reviewed, I think, both albums, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we always submit the albums to all the different press outlets, just for reviews and whatever else. It just helps to promote the album. Excuse me. And then, of course, the best part about all of this, being in a band, is playing live. Absolutely. I've always maintained making records is just an excuse to get back out and play shows. And I like making albums, don't get me wrong. But really, it's just the catalyst for us to get out and play shows. And it's always good to have new material, just to change things up a little bit. So anyway, that's the point. I won't take too much more time. I'm at like 17 and a half minutes right now. So anyway, keep watching our YouTube channel, Revelation Rain. The 18th of every month, starting in September, October, November, those 4 are clips from a show that we did at Aiden's Place back in February of 2021. And then in January is the slideshow, in which at the very end of it, the album artwork for our next album, The Dead in Christ, will be revealed. All right, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care. And you know what? I just realized I have no idea how to turn this off. I'm looking at my phone, and how do I turn this off when I'm done recording? I have no idea. I can mute the microphone. That wouldn't help anything. Maybe if I hit this X up here in the corner, does anyone know if anyone's watching? I don't know if anyone is or not. I've never done this before. So I'm just wondering, hopefully when I hit this X, it not only will stop the recording, but hopefully it still saves the recording so that I can put it up on it should go up on the channel anyway. But that way there, people who didn't get to watch it live can watch it later. So hopefully that's how it goes. Oh, wait, what if I do that? Nope, nothing. Look at me. All right, guys. Hopefully I get this done. Take care, and God bless.